Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today is another Tales from Salon hairstylist horror story reaction video. Before we get started, if you are new here, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. Today's reaction video is going to be from a creator. Her name is KaylaDelores TV, and her video is entitled Storytime, Worst Hairstylist Experience Ever with Receipts, because you know we love the receipts. Before we get started into the video, I want to say thank you to Miss KaylaDelores for this video. The link to the full video will be down in the description box. If you want to go check out the full video, let her know that I sent you by dropping something in the comments like our emoji and some love. All right, you guys? So let's go ahead and get into today's video.
A story time, y'all, on my worst hairstylist experience ever. Y'all,
her hair looks pretty.
Let me tell y'all about this story. First of all, this is going to be in a 3-part, like, it was kind of like a strike 1, strike 2, strike 3 type of thing. So let me tell y'all the first part, and then let me tell y'all why this was my worst hair experience ever. This was strike 1. The girl who was supposed to do my hair, she basically told me that her flight was delayed. Meanwhile, this was about 2 hours before my appointment. So if I say my appointment was probably at 12, she probably told me this at like 10. And meanwhile, this was an important event. So boom, so 12 o'clock, I'm not tripping. Okay, that's, you know, that's okay. That's 2 hours, it's fine. This was an important event. I had a week full of activities that week. And I knew I had somewhere to go that night. So I was like, okay, 12 is fine. So, you know, I'm getting ready. It's getting close to 12. She texts me again. Okay, I'm sorry, my flight just landed. It's been a whole little delay. Meanwhile, when I say this was an important event to me, this was an important event to a lot of people at FAMU in Tallahassee. So there was a lot of girls' hair she was doing. So now that means she's backed up with everybody. And my whole thing is, why would you fly out on a day when you're doing people hair? Like, there's no way I would book a flight and I know I have all these people that are waiting for me to do their hair. Like, there's no way I would have did it that close. I would have at least came back a day before, like, to get myself together to ensure that I'm going to be here. By the way, since we're talking about hair, can we get a little commotion for the hair? Can we get a little commotion for the hair? Do you see her? And it went to her not giving me a time anymore because she was so backed up to the point where she said, okay, I'll call you when I'm ready. So I'm like, dang, here we go. So it's about 3 o'clock, y'all. I gave her probably about a good 3 hours. I called back at 6 because I had somewhere to go that night. It was a party that was going on and I wanted to celebrate my accomplishments. So I was going to get to the party like around 10, and I wanted to make sure that I would have enough time to come home, get ready, all of that stuff. So I was like, well, if I take a shower and everything, she do my hair at 6, I should at least be done by like 9:30, and that'll give me time to just stop on some makeup and I'm out the door. So about 7 o'clock, she finally said, hey, you could come. No, it wasn't 7. It definitely wasn't 7. Probably around 8:39. She was like, okay, you could come. Meanwhile, I get there, I'm sitting waiting for her to still finish somebody else here. So I probably didn't get in her seat till around 10, and I probably didn't get home till around 12:30. So the event that I wanted to go to, finito. That was strike 1.
So let's just start there. I do agree with her. If you're going to be booking a flight to come in and you know you have clients booked, you don't want to book the same day, because flights are flights. You just never know. Things get delayed, and honey, I'm sure that, I don't know when this was shot, but if this was shot anytime during the Rona, honey, flights have been getting pushed back left and right because people are understaffed. You get what I'm saying? So I agree. That was definitely a strike. And so to go from a 12 a.m. appointment to a 9 p.m. appointment, that would be very frustrating. And I probably wouldn't give her a chance again to mess up my timeline, to be honest with you.
And again, I went back to her, and I'm gonna tell y'all strike 2 because this is part of the story time. And I went back because I'm like, well, you know, that was a flight that wasn't really her you know, I wouldn't have booked the flight the same day when I know I have clients to do, but she did. And I'm like, well, you know, maybe that was the only flight. Still just having hope, like, you know. So I go back. Strike 2 comes in. You know, it's a regular day. She didn't call me. She didn't cancel. She didn't say I'm gonna have to be late. She didn't do any of that. So I'm like, finally. So that was just one little mistake. She booked her flight on the wrong day. So that was just one little mistake. So we're good. So I go into my appointment, follow her rules with the whole washing of the hair, trying to make sure everything is good for her. And I get there, y'all. So I'm there at my appointment for my touch-up. Meanwhile, I just had it wasn't no lace touch-up or anything like that. I just wanted my hair to be flat ironed, and I could have did this myself, but I wanted her to redo it because she did my hair to begin with.
So I'm trying to get an understanding. This is a follow-up appointment, a little touch-up appointment. Why would I shampoo my own hair with a sew-in? Why would I do that before coming to you? Number one, if I have a sew-in and I am shampooing it at home, then I can style it at home, because the biggest headache about cleaning a sew-in yourself is making sure that the braids underneath are dry. And that's the biggest headache to me. That's really what I'm paying you for. I'm paying you to get in there and really get my scalp nice and clean, and then making sure that my braids are nice and dry before you style it, because what's a flat iron? So I just don't understand this mentality of making clients come to your chair with clean hair. Number one, half the time clients don't even know how to really clean their hair for real. And then number two, that is the point of me being the stylist. I need to see what's going on. I need to see what's going on in your hair, on your scalp, in its natural state before I style it. But that's just me, because I guess maybe I care about hair health.
So I go in, I sit in her chair, she's playing in my hair, and she's touching into my scalp. She's like this. She's like this. Touching into my scalp, and I'm like, okay, all right. And she's like, oh, I can't do your hair. Your hair is still wet at the scalp. Per my policy, I don't do any wet hair. Your hair is still wet at the root. I'm like, are you serious?
This is, didn't I just say it? Didn't I just say it? Because it takes forever for sew-in braids to get dry. It takes forever for sew-in braids to get dry. You can shampoo and wash, and clean your scalp at noon, and sit up under the dryer for 2 hours, and there might still be a little spot that's a little damp. It takes so long for sew-in braids to get dry. This is a scam that Todd came up with. Okay, let's go.
I was like, I'm more than willing to pay extra for you to blow dry it to your liking or whatever. I'm more willing to pay more money for you to have it the way you like. It's not like I'm trying to get over, or if that's not your policy to do wet hair, fine. Just let me know what I need to do, and I'll pay you extra. I don't care.
And how is that even a policy? Oh, I don't do wet hair. What? I'm assuming that she's not licensed. I'm assuming that this is like another student at FAM. I'm going to assume this is another student at FAM. So she just doesn't have the equipment to dry someone's hair. I'm going to assume that.
So she's like, oh no, per my policy, I don't do it. And especially not today, because I have another client coming. I'm really busy today. And I'm like, you're good. So what do we do now? Because I did pay a deposit. She was like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll refund you your deposit, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, just refund me my money. It's just a flat iron so I can flat iron my hair. It's really not that big of a deal. Just pay me my money and I'll handle it. So my best friend did my hair, no problem, and I was done. So you would think after this I would be like, okay, I'm done with this girl.
Possibly.
But so this was in December. This whole ordeal that happened. This was in December. December. It was in December. So then I go back to her, because I'm not the best when it comes to booking appointments. Everybody here in Tallahassee, you gotta book your stuff 3 weeks in advance, 4 weeks in advance. I'd be like a week, like, oh, I think I need my hair done, and I book an appointment. But half of the time these girls are booked the hell up. So, and she wasn't, and that should have been a sign. She ain't booked. It's a reason why. But anywho,
not tough. So
this was strike 3, and now it's done. This was the grand finale. This was like what pushed me to the edge.
The piece,
and, and meanwhile, again, like I was saying before, I had no intentions of going back to her after what she did at that time. But again, I don't book my appointments in advance, and she was the only one that had availability, which should have again told me something. So I booked this appointment on July 26th. So yeah, so I booked my appointment on July 26th, and you know, closer to time, you get text messages from the stylist like, hey, just making sure you're coming, just confirming your appointment and all that good stuff. So on July 28th was my appointment, and my appointment was at 5:40 that day. I'm gonna post the picture right here so you all can read along. I was like, hi, how are you? It's Kayla, just confirming my appointment for 5:40 today. And I sent that at 11:33 a.m. She texted me back at 4:25 p.m. about an hour and a half before my appointment, right? Y'all see what it say. She says, hi, good afternoon. I'm actually still on vacation. Today was supposed to be blocked off, but my site must have malfunctioned. I will be back on Thursday if you would like to reschedule. If not, I can refund you your deposit.
I have a site that you can book on, and I know, and I've used a few different sites. The site I use now is directly through my website, but like I've used StyleSeat before, or you know, those different sites. And if someone books for you, you get a notification. So if you saw that there was an appointment on the day that was your vacation day, even if the site malfunctioned, you would have gotten a notification whenever it was booked, so that you could reach out to that client and let them know that you were unavailable. Not the client reach out to you the day of the appointment, and then an hour before the said appointment, you're not available. Girl, I'd have been through with her. I'd have been through with her.
So on the 26th, when I booked this appointment, before she probably went out of town, or maybe she was out of town, but you got the notification that I booked an appointment. You don't think that was a good time to tell me, oh, hey, you just booked an appointment. Sorry, I'm actually out of town. I won't be able to do that appointment that day. Nah. That was too good. And that's the thing. The girl can do good hair, but her professionalism, and it's just trash. And this here wasn't the only time that I've heard that her professionalism here in Thailand is just fucking trash. So the next morning go by, I'm like, good morning. I would like my refund of the deposit. I see that you don't have any time to accommodate my schedule. This was I sent this on Wednesday, as you can see. No reply. Again, I'm like, okay, where is my money? Because what I can say to you all, when my hair, that strike two, when my hair was wet, I never got that. Still to this day, I do not have that $20 deposit back. And I was to the point where, okay, maybe it was my fault because the hair, because I guess my hair was wet when I sat down and thought about it. But I was like, Kayla, you tripping. You should have got your money, and that's that on that. The next day go by. This is now Thursday. I said, good morning. I reached out to you yesterday, ending of day with no response. I would like my refund of the deposit. I see that you do not have any time to accommodate my schedule. Then she writes back, okay, I will send you your refund now. I said, thank you. And then I noticed that I still didn't have my refund. No, like, it don't take that long to get the money. I noticed I still didn't have the refund, so I'm like, okay, like, what's going on here? So then I go to Instagram because I still have not contacted her, or she still haven't wrote me back through text message or nothing. She said she was going to refund the money. It still never got refunded, so I texted her. So boom, I messaged her. This is at 8:18 in the morning. I said, good morning. I reached out to you yesterday, ending day with no response through text. I checked my PayPal and account assuming you might have refunded me and just didn't reply. However, that is not the case. I would like my refund of my deposit. I see that you do not have any time to accommodate my schedule. The appointment was for my name at 5:40 p.m. It is unfortunate that it is this difficult to contact you due to the inconvenience that you presented to me. So finally she
a professional and respectful response, especially after reaching out. This would be now the third time reaching out for your deposit. So, yes, continue.
finally refunded me my money. Finally refunded me my little $20. Like, and it's just $20, but it's about the freaking principle.
The principle.
And that was strike three. I'm like, you got too much going on, boo. You just got too much going on. Strike one, strike two, strike three. Just my worst overall hairstylist experience ever. And it was me that kept going back. It's like, why you kept going back? After the first time.
All right, Miss Kayla, I hope that you learned your lesson, honey. Don't give people 3 strikes to play with you and your munties, okay? Don't give them 3 strikes. There were definitely a lot of red flags when it came to professionalism, when it came to this client, and making sure that you get it, that you're getting your money's worth. And I understand the like I said at the beginning, with the flight and things being delayed, and some things are just out of your control. But at this point in my life and how I look at things, I think about your mindset when you're doing them. And if it doesn't align with what I would leave my mindset would be, I just cut the ties, cut the losses. As a professional, I'm not trying to have clients backed up all day, so I'm not going to book a flight for that same day, because you just never know. That's just like you just never know when you go to an airport. That's just common sense. So to me, that means that your judgment was already off to begin with. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm glad that she learned from this. I'm glad that she's going to move on. That was definitely someone who I probably would not have been doing business with. And it's a shame, because it's really easy to, well, I'm not gonna say it's really easy, but there are a lot of people out here that can do great hair but lack professionalism. So I'm not trying to bash the stylist or anything like that. I am just trying to give y'all some red flags as someone who's been in the industry and kind of knows when stylists are kind of slack and not. And also, if you're a stylist, give you some tips as to better your professionalism, because just because you have the talent to do hair doesn't mean that you necessarily know how to run a business. You know, it is what it is. But I enjoyed this story. I hope y'all enjoyed this reaction video to this story. Again, the full link to the video is down in the description box if you would like to check it out. And we do this each and every week for our Tales from the Salon hairstylist horror story videos. And I'm going to see y'all next week for another one. Peace.